Folks, my name is Rudy. You're watching a YouTube channel called Alpha Investments. We discuss and contemplate the world of trading cards, finance, and general conversation and advice. We've been having quite a bit of fun lately. I hope you guys have been enjoying the videos. We've been bringing back some of the older 2016, 2018 era fun, aggressive, crazy Rudy throw things and a bunch of memes and jokes, and it's been fun. It's been a while since we've done that, but you need the right market conditions and the right perspective, and everyone's got to be in a certain mindset for that kind of content, you know? So let's follow up and talk about what's going on, shall we? So in the world of Magic, we just had Dragon Storm, Tarkir come out. Let's see here. In Pokemon, we just had our Journey Together release. What do we got? Next week, we have one of the largest Weiss Schwarz releases in 2025, the Nikki. The Goddess, the infamous Healthy Lady set with machine guns and somewhat clothing, some clothing. We have the new Team Rocket Bad Guy set in Pokemon coming out in 60 days, 90 days, 75 days. Allocations will probably be dreadful, probably be similar to Journey and Surging, maybe minus another 10% as the pie gets thinner. And we're about 40 days away from Flesh and Blood's high seas. And of course, that also means we are coming up to the Gem Keeper Season 2 launch. And while all these trading card things are going on, Rudy's been screaming at the camera to stay the course and be greedy. And these are the times that you should really increase your risk tolerance and be more aggressive. So many of you ask me questions like, well, Rudy, how much have you lost or what have you done? You're just going to take my word for it because I'm not going to share bank statements or anything like that or hold up my phone showing a brokerage account. I'm not going to do all that, but I did buy pretty heavily starting last Thursday. And usually I have kind of a golden rule, and that is whenever the market drops more than like 1,000 points, you add to your positions. If it drops again, you add again. And as it keeps going, you keep adding. A lot of people always ridicule, and in times of emotion and dramatic headlines and news media saying the world's ending, in times like that, people usually ridicule that approach by saying, oh, there's Rudy. He's going to cut his hands on the falling knife. As the market falls, and as things continue to drop, he will try to grab the knife on the way down, and he's going to lose money and get cut up. Well, as you all know, I always do that. As things fall and collapse, I always buy on the way down. I don't believe in using leverage. I don't believe in using pretty much 10xing your money and going long on contracts. I've sold covered calls in the past, and I've even sold some naked short positions and things like that because if the stock fell long enough, I wouldn't mind owning the shares. I've done that with Hasbro and just the overall, VOO in the past. But overall, I think the most interesting thing is still watching the public. And I think watching the general living, breathing entity known as the internet. I find that to be the most fascinating thing you can learn from. See, right now, we're going to come back to the card world in a second. So right now, in the world, everybody's saying you should not be buying the stock market or the S&P 500 or whatever it is. You shouldn't be buying stocks because we have a lot further to fall. Well, this is being filmed on the morning of, what's today? Tuesday? Wednesday morning. The stock market's supposed to open, go down, and drop maybe another 3, 4, 5. I think pre-market's like negative 5, 6, 700 today. Right? And it may go down another 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. It may close and rally in the close. It may stay flat. This video may be outdated by the time you even watch it in the afternoon. But here's the thing about it all. Humans will focus on there's this huge obsession with trying to catch the bottom. And then there's the argument of the falling knife scenario where you keep trying to buy on the way down, buy the dip, buy the dippity dip, dip, dip. And you can argue pro and con for all directions. I can argue with you guys that buying on the way down is good and bad because, you keep lowering your average cost basis and dollar cost average thing. But then again, you're also losing money every time you do it if you know the market's going to keep going down. Then you have other people that say, well, just wait for the market to flush out. Bear markets, Rudy, you've said it, bear markets can last 12 to 20 months. So just why be in a hurry? Because I don't look at it like that. Again, keep in mind, I do all this YouTube stuff because I like to sell you guys cards. I have a Patreon account. I talk to you guys. And you guys like to watch the videos. I don't take outside sponsors. I don't have some $1,000 program, $10,000 upgrade, special private Rudy $50,000, kind of get hype psych, selling and sales and hard sale. I don't, look, man, this is what it is. And I just want to give you all the Rudy piece of advice for absolutely free because it's YouTube. When I make these videos, they'll last forever. This is being filmed the first week of April 2025. Or wait, what's today? The 7th? The 8th? The 6th? I don't know. Something like that. Whatever Wednesday is this week, whatever. And see, my brain is not focused on, I know when I buy stock today, I'm going to lose money. The highest probable outcome is the market falls further or the market goes sideways. I get that. But I also see, here's the thing, the whole public is talking about the bottom. Wait, big crash, 2008, 2020. So the media, the talking heads, and everybody who wants to get clicks talk about those key points and key components that get easy views. Well, Rudy's over here saying, folks, I've been on YouTube for 10 long years. The part that you guys don't see that I see is in any given day, I look at the overall market and I ask myself, are we at a top? Is this just normal times? Are we at a bottom? See, the thing that excites me in times when the Dow goes from 45,000 to 37,000 on the Dow Jones, that's an 8,000 point drop. Like, in the silly Rudy breaking things, throwing tables and chairs videos, when I see an 8,000 point drop, like there's many emotions that kind of go through you. Giggity. But I also, there's one fact I can tell you. When we have an 8,000 point drop, if you buy today or yesterday or the day before yesterday when it was only down 5,000 or 6,000, the market's down 8,000 points. There is one fact. Buying today or yesterday or the day before yesterday or tomorrow, anytime you buy after we have a 5, 6, 7, 8,000 point drop, you are guaranteed that you are not buying at the top. You have removed the potential scenario that you're buying the top. Many times we go through these calm markets. See, Wall Street's a weird thing. Wall Street can go 3, 4, 5 months and be very boring. No one talks about it. The market's up a little, the market's down a little. Oh, the market's flat. The Wall Street has this funny thing where it goes 3, 6, 9 months where nothing happens. It's boring. And then Wall Street has this funny thing where all of a sudden everything happens at once. Everything, it's just a Category 5 hurricane. And you will experience more emotions in just going like this in a 1 day, 1 week period than the last 9 months of boringness in a stock market. Stocks are weird about that. The indexes and the indices and the way it works and what's exciting and in calm, boring times, it doesn't even CNBC and news articles and programs and finance videos, they don't get a lot of views. And then suddenly in times that drama happens or collapses or swings, every YouTube channel, CNBC ratings across everything, the views 10, 20, 30x into some craziness. That's a fact. So making videos leaning into this fear and FOMO and crazy and the FUD and just making content on that is a great way to sell programs and financial stuff and everything like that. But like I said, the thing that always stands out to me is my little brain down here in good old Florida, I'm like, if I click the buy button right now, it doesn't matter if we go from Dow 37,000 to Dow 35, 33, Dow 30,000, because I know I didn't buy the top. And like I've talked to you guys about for the longest time frame, I gave the example when I used to be a licensed broker for 4, 5, 6 years, whatever it was, before I, became a cardboard dealer. Even I told you guys over and over, you could have been the worst stock market investor. You could have bought the top of the stock market in COVID in 2020. You could have put all your money in February of 2020, right at the top of the market before it crashed in 2020 with COVID. You could have put all your money in 2007, the Q2, Q3, 07, when the Dow and S&P hit its all-time high. You could have been the worst investor. You could have put all your life savings of 10 grand, 50 grand, 100 grand, $1 million at the top of the indexes. And if you had done nothing at all, you would look like a fucking hero. Now, if you had stayed the course or added on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly contributions, you wouldn't look like a hero. You would become a legend, because the growth that you would have experienced, even buying the top of the crash in 07, 08, in 2020, even now, even if you had put your life savings in the stock market a month ago, when the Dow was 45,000, if you wait, and if you have been adding during this blood in the street situation, lowering your cost basis, getting more shares, it is the correct thing to do. The argument, nobody is sitting here arguing that the stock market's not going to go up sometime in the future. Tomorrow, a week, a month, a year. Nobody's arguing the S&P is not going to break new highs. The Qs are not going to break new highs. Whatever it is. Nobody's saying that's never going to happen. The only thing people argue about on the internet is how long it's going to take to happen. And everyone's just arguing, oh, no, don't buy now. Falling knife, no, doubt, no, Great Recession, Great Depression, 1920s, tariff, Trump, orange guy crash, nope, COVID, we can't clean everything with bleach, COVID crash, nope, mortgage crash. There will always be something. And you will find you're a better investor the less you pay attention to it. You just look at the numbers on your phone and go, oh wow, things are on sale, 20, 30% off from the highs. Dang, if there was a $1,000 box of Magic or a rare reserve list card, if Bazaar of Baghdad was $2,000 and it went on sale for $1,200, are you going to just sell at the bottom to Rudy? No, I would probably buy a shit ton. If you go to Publix and, a lot of you guys don't know what Publix, you go to the grocery store, I forgot Publix is like a Florida thing. If you go to the grocery store or a Walmart, and suddenly something's half off or clearance, do you get afraid and run out the door? If you buy a video game for $80 or $60 at Walmart, and the next day the game goes 50% off clearance, do you attack the Walmart, or do you yell at the employees and throw waffle fries and chicken tenders and nuggets at them? Do you throw them at the employees for ripping you off? Like, we have the issue is the cultural perspective of things. The issue is the social media machine. It's the mainstream media. And when I blame the media, it's Fox News to CNN and everything in the middle. I don't give a shit. If you're looking left or right in the middle, guess what? No matter which way you're looking, your neck's going to hurt and it gives you a headache. They all have pros and cons. There's things that Fox says that's great, and there's things that they say that's like, bro, come on, look at the wording. There's things that CNN says that's, oh, well, that makes sense. Well, I'm glad oh, God, dude, come on, that's obvious. You can argue and put a tilt on anything based on using words. Words and adjectives and all these fancy things, you can tilt and kind of build kind of narratives to things. When it comes to math, you cannot. Math is one thing. The equations, the numbers have one answer, and they only go together one way. You can't wiggle. You can't change the narrative. The numbers are the numbers. When the price of XYZ stock, ABC, I don't think those are real stocks. Is ABC or XYZ a stock? I don't think they are. If any of these stocks go to a certain, if the number changes, that's the number. You guys know, I mean, that's just the situation. So, it's very fascinating to see all this stuff, and I encourage everyone. I know this isn't a crazy Rudy throwing meme video, but again, I encourage everyone to understand, what is your situation? What is your health? What is your age? What is your life expectancy? What are you doing for the living? How much money do you have? Do you have extra money sitting in the bank getting 0%? Do you have money sitting in a money market making 2-3%? Do you have money in a CD making 2-4%? Do you have money sitting idle? Do you have this? Are you afraid? Why aren't you doing things for your future? Are you just risk averse? Or do you need the money for something? Are you getting ready to move? Are you ready to buy a house? Are you being transferred? Do you not know if you have a job? Did you knock up your wife? Is your wife's mistress and all three of your wives and girlfriends, are they all pregnant? Do you have future bills and things that you have obligations for? Well, if you didn't answer any of these questions with a yes, then you should be putting money to work for you. Remember, folks, there's essentially two ways to make wealth and money in this world. You need to, trade your time for income and working and jobs and manual or learning or doing something or making something or changing the world. Or B, you need a lot of time. If you have a lot of time, you don't need a lot of money. If you have a lot of money, you really don't need a lot of time because you don't need to grow it. Well, if you have both, well, congratulations, you fucking won at life. Okay? You're a lucky son of a bitch. Some people, it's luck. Some people, it's right place, right time. Some people, it's just life. Life is not fair. There's good and bad things that happen to good people. There are terrible humans in the world that have, great things happen to terrible people. That is the fact of accepting the way life is. The best thing you can do is be a good person and try to be nice and respectful to as many people as you can. That's really the best piece of advice. In my experience of doing this stuff and being on YouTube for 10 years, my best experience and comments to you guys would be, just trying the best you can and just try and do the right thing. Most of the time will work out. You're going to run into people that are just angry at you. You're going to run into people that don't like you. You're going to run into people that are going to try to scam you or lose money or theft or something. These things are part of life, and it makes everybody angry. You go on social media, you see comments you don't like. People are angry, or maybe something you sold, or, Rudy, I'm sure there's an equal amount of people that hate me that love me. But that is part of being alive and being human. You cannot make everything go a certain way. That's just the world. So that's enough life talk of everything. I stand by what I said yesterday, the day before, and a week and a month ago. No matter what happens with all this tariff stuff, no matter how low the market goes, you need to be buying, you need to be greedy. These are moments in life that will accelerate wealth and wealth transfer, and it's going to make some people a lot of money. And many of you all out there who are leveraged or gambling on options because you're option degenerate gamblers, you're probably going to get nuked. If you're having leveraged ETFs, you got leveraged funds. Rudy, I'm 3x the S&P 500. I'm 2x the S&P, Rudy, and I'm on margin. Oh, God. No leverage. That's, one of the number one things I can tell you all that's helped me tremendously in business and investing is because I don't have leverage in debt. I haven't had leverage in debt since I was young, probably in my early 30s, late 20s, when I finally was able to get the business going and some of the other things and investing, where I was able to get out of leverage and debt, and I hated it. If the slightest misstep, you just get nuked and your account can go to zero. And if the economy gets rough, if business fails, and as you all know, let's go back to trading cards. In the world of Magic or Pokemon, if the markets turn on you and you get stuck with pallets of Pokemon booster boxes or pallets of Magic the Gathering draft and collector boxes that, oh God, Rudy, aren't you the guy that bought thousands of Baldur's Gate collector boxes and Adventures Forgotten Realm collector boxes? And didn't you buy all these things and you bought the Lord of the Rings collector box? Yeah. And during certain time periods of our human being existence, those were bad moves, and it was a very difficult, psychologically challenging time. And now, in other time periods, people think you're a legend and a hero. So again, making certain decisions, depending where you are in the timeline, people are going to judge you as, oh, that's terrible. Oh, wait, we're in 2026 now? Wow. You bought back in that dip? Oh. I got a question. How did you hold on? Didn't you freak out? Do you see what I'm saying? That's the thing with all this stuff. Good example right now, folks. Tarkir Dragonstorm just came out. I ran my patron sales last weekend, and we've been processing orders all week, going long hours, trying to get everything out, shipped as quick as we can. We got lucky. We got our product an extra day or so early, so it gave us more processing time. And I remember when I was running my collector box sale, and I told people, I said, remember, I don't mark collector boxes down much. You get a very small discount when you buy collector boxes through Rudy. They're just too limited. I can't get enough. The print runs too tight. Hasbro's too hardcore. It is what it is. I can give you guys the best deal in the world for play boxes and $100 shipped for Tarkir, and you can buy cases, and we've been over all that stuff. Commander decks, hey, I'll get you a nice discount, whatever. But when it comes to like collector boxes, as I told you, I can get you guys a reliable source to get a couple boxes, but I can't do large orders, and you're not going to get half off at some clearance price or fire. It's just not going to happen. If you're looking to flip a collector box buying from me, you're just going to hate me and be angry, and you're going to go outside and, I don't know, go post on the internet that or I don't know, eat the grass or something. But I had messages today from some of you all saying, Rudy, have you seen what's going on with Tarkir collector boxes? And no, I haven't. I've been all over the place. I've been really, really busy. The PCG Premier Card Grading thing, we've been slammed because of the marketing commercial videos. Thank you all for supporting. We're hitting record orders, record submissions. Holy cow. I mean, it's been a lot. It's been a fun roller coaster. It's been exciting. And of course, every time you have growth and good stuff, you get people who hate you and you get some negative messages, but it's been great. It's been a lot of fun. But yeah, I found out today that Tarkir collector boxes are almost at $400. I checked earlier today and they were $375 plus tax. That puts these things at about $400 shipped now. And we're just approaching release date, and the prices are already going that high. Because again, it's a good set. It was under-ordered. Everybody thought it would suck. The only thing people cared about was Final Fantasy. And as I told you all before, I'm going to tell you the same thing, and we're going to move on. Tarkir collector boxes will be $500 to $1,000 a box in less than 24 months. If you want to buy from other stores, go on LGS's, their websites, go on TCG Player. I don't have any for sale. You're on your own at this point. If you want my advice, they're going to be $500 to $1,000 a box. Whether you agree with that or you're tired of being ripped off by Hasbro Wizards, you can be angry about your emotions. You can be angry about anything you want. I'm just telling you what's going to happen, and do with it what you want. I really don't give a shit, but it's going to happen. I was told Foundation collector boxes have already broken 500. I believe, I know the Wildsville Drain is, 600 now? I mean, it's just the world we're in. So that's what's going on. Now, a couple small things. I do have more Tarkir Dragonstorm play boxes coming. I know a lot of you guys missed out on that. I have more $100 boxes, $600 cases shipped to your door. No hidden fees, no PayPal fee evasion with friends and family, no shipping with your zip code. It is $600 to your front door or your stepsister's house. So we have more of those coming up in the next 7 to 10 days. I also have one extra pallet of Tarkir Commander decks coming up for you guys, patrons, those you missed out. I understand the prices are still going up and crazy. The price will be the same as released as it was a week ago. I'm not raising prices. Tarkir play will still be 600 shipped for a case. I forgot what the Commander was. Whatever that was a week ago, it's the same price. I think if you get, it's like $25 off TCG Play or something. Whatever it is, you have to Google it. Past that, we're still waiting on Foundation play boxes. Supposed to be any time now. We're supposed to get our pallets restocked. And then Bloomborough is currently at the printer. So we're probably still like 2 or 3 months away from Bloomborough. But Foundation play is at the printer. Past that, let's talk about the Pokemon situation real quick. Many people think Pokemon is peaked right now. Okay? A lot of people think the Pokemon market is flat and going to start retracing. Because I saw this morning, Journey Together booster boxes peaked at like $255 plus tax, so like $270 shipped. And I saw this morning they're down to like $220 plus tax on TCG Player. So we've seen about almost a 20%, let's just call it 20%. Let's round up, make it sound more dramatic. We've seen about 20% decline on Journey Together. Now this is interesting because we didn't experience this type of market decline at the release of Surging Sparks and post-release. Usually when a Pokemon set comes out, it stays flat or just keeps running higher. Or you have the Journey Together situation. Set comes out, everybody who bought it is trying to flip, all the markets, all the products sloshing around. You have right now, we should see the true stable price of Journey Together probably another 2 to 4 weeks. Usually it requires 4 to 8 weeks post-release to see full stability, full market kind of calibration of buyers and sellers. Because right now we're still seeing every time Walmart, Target, some sort of place like that gets restocked, people dump one scalper dumps everything in their shopping cart at Target, goes on TCG Player, lists everything and flips everything to double their money. And that will last for a while until it just gets flushed out. Usually we need a couple more weeks to kind of get that. Historically, once we break about 60, 90 days, we go to the next Pokemon set. The previous set starts to start drifting higher unless more comes to market. And I don't care what anyone says, there are not thousands of pallets of Journey Together coming to the market. If you want Rudy's advice, I'll give you some financial advice. This is a non-financial advice, basement-dwelling, left-nut, wrinkly channel. My advice is right now we're in the soft period of Journey Together. If you missed out at release, this is probably your time to buy it. Like even the ETBs were like $120 for an ETB at the peak, okay? ETBs now I think are like 75 or 80 plus tax, so what, 85 shipped for an ETB? So $850. So they've dropped about 20-25% from the high. If you did not buy it, or if you want to add your position or lower your cost basis, this is the time to probably increase your position on the product, especially the booster boxes or ETBs type things, okay? As we go to this next Team Rocket Evil set thing, I expect allocations to probably be about the same, minus another maybe 10 to 20% each store, as more and more people demand and the piece of pie gets thinner and thinner. I don't expect any special miracles where the next Team Rocket set is going to be $100 a box or MSRP or whatever dumb shit that people who are angry on the internet want to use. The market's going to market. You can be angry at anyone you want. You can be angry at scalpers, angry at LGSs, angry at internet dealers, angry at whoever the fuck you want. But that just tells me how ill-informed and how sensitive and how much of a dumbass you are. You're a little Timmy in a corner that just wants to be angry. The market says it's worth it. The market is the summary of thousands and thousands of stores, buyers, sellers, flippers, and pretty much evil investors, collectors, and I think players. Is there Pokemon players? Somebody. That is the market. Now, if you want to be angry at Rudy for charging too much, or angry at your local LGS for charging too much because the market says it's worth X, Y, Z, that's just, hey, go in a corner, be angry, I don't know, lick some lead paint, and because you know what? In a year from now, you're probably not going to be in the market anyways. You'll be gone anyways. Nobody will give a shit. So you need to remove emotion from these things. And I don't expect to see much more Pokemon growth in the near term. I think we're in a consolidation phase right now. I think the next leg up in Pokemon is probably going to be early Scarlet Violet, SVO 1 through 4. And most likely we should be getting close to another leg up for the Sword and Shield era. I think we should be about ready to kind of go to the 500 plus range on most of the Sword and Shield boxes when we have the next cycle. Because remember, we don't go in straight lines. This is the life of a staircase person. Do you guys see a staircase? It's the life. Pokemon has a pop, and then we level. We have a pop, we level. It does the staircase thing. Wall Street does the same thing. It kind of slowly climbs, but then when you have downturns, like Journey Together at release or the stock market, the staircase is the uptrend, but when you go down, we always take the elevator down. Remember that. Climbing gains and climbing growth is a slow grind that's very slow and tedious. And drops in pain are quick and very emotionally kind of it's very painful. It's very quick. It's very aggressive. It's very abrasive, So that's what I kind of see happening with the Pokemon thing. No, I don't think Pokemon's peaked and everything's going to go to shit now. I think we're in a kind of a purgatory sideways time period, and this is a great moment for people to use to actually go back and get Pokemon sets for Sword and Shield or Scarlet Violet that they either want to increase what they have or maybe a set they missed out on. I think Scarlet Violet 1 through 4 is definitely going to be is probably going to be the area to really play around in. It's as we start moving forward to the end of the Scarlet Violet era over the next 6 to 12 months. I think, hell, what are we at? Surging Sparks, SVO 8, SVO 9. So Team Rocket's what, SVO 10 or SV 10? Yeah, we're getting towards, so because the blocks only go to what, 12, 13? I think it's around 12. Yes, as we get close, God, has it really been that long already? Oh my God, time. Oh my God, has it really been that long? I still feel like Scarlet Violet's new. That's crazy, man. That's crazy, dude. Let me jump over a couple of small things. The Flesh and Blood stuff coming up here. The high C's, you guys keep asking me. So I like to address in a video to help reduce you guys asking me messages and, reduce my email inbox. The high C's Flesh and Blood set, I told you before, is the first set since the Flesh and Blood market's really heated up. And now the market knows LSS, James, Flesh and Blood, the company, the management, they are very serious about the print run thing. Their cards are collectible, and they are being very, very serious about it. There are people already angry at Flesh and Blood, threatening I quit. How's the game supposed to exist if there's not enough boxes? Because again, that's how this works. Once you tighten print runs and things run out, the internet voices and the people who tend to spend the least amount of money, they buy, they want their one single card or their one little box, and again, which everybody's equally important, except the Timmies. They're the ones that will start spending a lot of aggressive time online bashing Flesh and Blood because, well, their prices are too expensive. I can't get enough boxes. I can't even get it at MSRP. Again, MSRP for the returns to the conversation. This is the argument of why people, how do I say this? This is the argument of why people always kind of, in the United States at least, board game companies and some CCG companies who use like the map pricing. This is why it's a very ridiculed business approach in the United States, because it's very difficult to get Americans in the U.S. market to really hold the line on certain things like that. It's very difficult because the whole free market American kind of goofiness, and Americans are very against that kind of thing. And, the attitude of, the public is, well, if you do the right thing, the market will reward and take care of you. Well, now that we're seeing Flesh and Blood prices go up so much, the conversation of map pricing in Flesh and Blood is essentially gone. From literally, I haven't heard the conversation of map pricing with really any stores, LGSs, Fab. Nobody cares. Because the idea of even selling at map now, people are like, yeah, right. Like, yeah, if anyone's going to sell, by the way, if anyone wants to sell a pallet of the Hunted at a map pricing, not store price, not wholesale, at map, yeah, AlphainvestmentsLLC at gmail.com. I'll take up to 5 pallets, please. Yeah, I mean, it's just, it kind of, again, it goes away. So now, with high C's coming up, it is going to be a very hot thing. Yes, we are doing the same thing we always do. We're going to have our exclusive promo card. PCG is going to premiercardgrading.com. We're going to slab all the promo cards. Patrons get a sealed case. You get your promo card. Some people, open it, just sell singles. Some people just open it in drafts. Some people keep it sealed. Whatever you want to do is up to you. I don't really care. I'm not here to police what you do with your boxes and your singles. I don't really care. It's not my business. So, but you just understand, we're like 45 days away from maybe the new Flesh and Blood set, but it is going to be high demand. It's going to sell out. Now that everyone has seen what happened with Rosetta and now the Hunted, everybody's adjusted their behavior and they know that, well, I can't just wait for Flesh and Blood to go on fire sale anymore, because it's literally, well, it's like Magic and collector boxes. If you don't buy it at release, you're fucked. Let's be straightforward about it. That is the reality of the situation. You either buy it at release or you just don't buy it at all. So, all right, so that's about it. We talked about everything going on. One last comment to you guys about Weiss. Oh, God, I'm achy from all the pallets. One last comment about Weiss in this Nikki Goddess of Victory set coming up. We're like 10 days away from Nikki. Some of you guys are just like, Rudy, if we give me 10% TCG player, can I buy 10 cases? Rudy, my local store only ordered 1 case. They're limiting everyone to 1 little booster box for, I don't know, 60, 70 bucks or whatever it is. Rudy, will you please, can I privately buy 5 cases on the side of Nikki? Here's what's happening. I'm going to make another video as we get closer to the Nikki thing. Here's the situation, okay? Everybody knows like once a year we get a major Weiss release. Azure Lane, Hollow Live, Jobless Reincarnation, a Persona series. Everybody knows we get these certain Weiss releases that are super hot. Most stores did not order enough of the Goddess of Victory set. It is an outrageous set. Because of this, everybody knows, well, Rudy, what's Azure Lane boxes at? Rudy, what's Hollow Live box? Everybody knows successful Weiss sets, it comes out, they're going to blow out, and the boxes are going to go to 100, 150 a box. Because there's not really much to talk about. Because of that creates, I can tell, because that creates stores and messages from you guys saying, Rudy, will you sell me 5 cases? I'll just pay a full $90 a box TCG player. Because they know post-release in 3 to 6 months, they're probably going to, on the worst case scenario, you're going to have Goddess of Victory at 100. If you're lucky, it'll be 150 a box. So what's happening is people don't really care if they're paying 70 a box, 80 a box. Even that's why you're seeing, very little supply left on TCG Player, and you have people just paying the full 90, 95 with tax because nobody cares. Because everybody knows. When you know what your downside risk is and you know what the most probable outcome is, it creates a very predictable market. So no, the Weiss sale with Nikki, yes, I think I was told I have the largest allocation in the US for the Goddess of Victory because I didn't want to run out too soon. I didn't want to cut the patron orders. So yes, it should still be the same, but it's still going to be limit 1 case. If you want just a couple boxes, you can do that. We're going to have the choice of a couple boxes, like a half case and then a full case, that kind of thing. No, you cannot buy over that. No, you cannot buy 5 cases at a discount. It just needs to be available. Whatever doesn't sell, obviously I'm going to keep because quite frankly, I kind of want a set of the Chase SP cards. Has anybody seen the artwork? Good God. How does some of those ladies even walk around? Don't they have back problems? Anyways, so that's what's going on in the Weiss thing. Just wanted to address it because otherwise it just helps keep my email a little less busy. So we're going to wrap up the video right now. Hang on. When I made this shirt at the beginning of the year, I stayed the course. And it was fucking beautiful. I wanted to put the word fucking there, but I can't really put a curse word on a shirt. It's not appropriate. People wear it in LGSs at events. And it was beautiful. I feel like after what's happened now, it's given the Rudy shirt a whole new meaning. Like, I feel like I know it's like this cliche meme, that the whole stay the course, and because I've been saying it for so many years and all that. But it just works. It just works. And a couple other smaller things. Right now the market's very anti Magic the Gathering Aether Drift. That's the new set we're all supposed to hate now. Like, I've noticed the amount of patrons buying Aether Drift play boxes for the 100 shipped has dropped substantially. And now the amount of patrons buying Duskmourn play boxes is spiking. The amount of patrons buying Jumpstart for 93 shipped, the patrons, you guys it's all spiking. It's like doubled in the last 30 days. And Aether Drift orders are dropping like a brick. And now the Thunder Junction's about the same, but the Duskmourn and Jumpstart specifically have been rising. Actually, so is Carl of Manor. I'm very surprised by that. And it's been very interesting to see that ebb and flow. And of course, Tarkir Dragonstorm for $100 boxes. That is the #1 hottest thing you guys are buying and everything, and you want more of, which I got more coming. Calm down. It's just interesting to see the ebbs and flows of it because, a year ago when Carl of Manor play boxes came out, like, if I even tried to sell a Carl of Manor play box for the Rudy price, the infamous 118 price, like, I probably would have sold one. And now, like, everybody wants, like, I wouldn't say everybody, but the uptick in that has been very fascinating. So it's just interesting how time, it moves and shifts the perspective of everybody's behavior. And the cards stay the same, Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoy this nice, relaxing, long conversation after the turbulence we've experienced in the last week. Hope you guys have been enjoying the crazy Rudy videos, and we've been having a lot of fun making them and everything. And I think that's about it. Stay the course, everybody. I appreciate all the kind support and everything. And yeah, the next 60 days, folks. The Team Rocket Pokemon. Oh, God. Final Fantasy coming in June for the patrons. Oh, God. Oh, God. The Flesh and Blood High Seas. The Weiss Nikki. I didn't mention sorcery in this video. I didn't know if we should mention the Gothic stuff or what we're working on, the sorcery promo or anything, or the new playmat. We're not gonna go into that. Too early. That's later this year. We're not gonna go into that. Too early. That's it, folks. Other than that, thanks for watching. You all have a beautiful day out there. Did anybody ever take $1 million? Did anybody do a big buyout in the magic world? Did anybody ever do that yet? Wouldn't that be a cool thing? Shouldn't that be done? Is anybody ever going to do that? Somebody should take $1 million and do like the biggest buyout of like something in magic. New or old, doesn't matter what it is. Somebody should do something. Did anybody do it yet? Whatever. Rudy's penis.